Red Sonja, Mark, tell us
Yes.
why it's the greatest Conan movie ever.
Well, look, you all watched it as a kid, and you all thought it was ace because it was a bit like Conan, and Brigitte Nielsen was a bit saucy, and I think there was even a little flash of boobs in it at one point. So we all loved it. However, let's be honest, it is actually terrible. It's properly terrible. The film's biggest asset, Arnold, completely ruins it by literally dropping his loincloth and pissing all over every aspect of the film's narrative and politics. I'm a strong woman. I don't need the help of a man. And along comes Arnold every single time. I think you'll find you do, love. I'll just save you here. It's terrible. So let's get that out of the way. Let's talk about the actual disc, because there is a very worrying trend that is now becoming very apparent from Studiocanal's 4K catalogue. And the transfers that I've seen, certainly going way back to the last few I've looked at, which were Cat's Eye and Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, all colour timed by a French lab called Haventi. And these transfers are fantastic in terms of fine detail, in terms of grain management, in terms of debris removal, but they're also color timed completely differently from previous home releases. Most of them have a very, very strong teal push to them. And it's very obvious, even without comparing it to the old discs. And it's just baffling to know why. Obviously not every film has its original cinematographer or director around to help. Obviously not every film has pristine source, color time to perfection, into positives or whatever you call it, that give them that. But a lot of these new transfers coming out of Studiocanal have got a very definite teal, turquoise, whatever you want to call it, push to it. And it's just strange. Why? Why are we putting this different color push to it? I said in the review for Red Sonja, I'd love to get someone from, who knows about this stuff to talk us through this. Is it by design? Is there a mission here to, I don't know, make more films look like modern films do? I've seen some rumors are going around that there's issues with color spacing used in the digital workflows. Well, surely it can't be that, because that smacks of huge errors left, right, and center. But it's just becoming so obvious now that I just love to know why, really. So yeah, if you're a fan of Red Sonja, fine. If you have to, be very wary though of this new transfer, because if you're a big fan, you had the old disc. This new one is going to look different, quite different. So buy everywhere. Anyway, rant over.
When you say different though, Mark, like is it an element of taste? Is it an element of the people sort of restoring it, the people transferring it are saying we prefer it like this?
Possibly.
That's the question.
And I mean, some of the things you don't notice. I mean, our brothers and sisters over the pond at Blu-ray.com, they have a much more critical eye to a lot more of these. And for a lot of the times that they're talking about this, I don't really see it. However, certainly for Cat's Eye and for Red Sonja, I had the previous discs. So literally you just stick it on and do an A-B comparison. And, on Cat's Eye, there was a bright white church, which is now just drenched in teal. In Red Sonja, early doors, with the talisman being stolen, all the priestesses are wearing white robes in the old Optimum Blu-ray. Here, they've all got a real turquoise push to them. And you just think,
that definitely sounds more mistake than choice. That's dumb.
But I don't know, because no one's, this doesn't sound like, for example, when Kino did Silence of the Lambs, and the first 20 minutes look completely different because they used the wrong color spacing. It's not like that. Faces, look natural, skin tones look natural. It's literally the white. And I mean, I don't know how all this stuff works. It's all beyond me. But it is becoming a trend of Studiocanal and using this lab, this one lab in France, Haventi. It seems to be them. And who knows, Tom? Is it taste? Is it an error? Is it, for all we know, the previous releases? They were wrong. It was never meant to be white. What are you talking about, Costello? That white church? Nah, it was always been turquoise, mate. You know, we don't know. But it's just now, and whether or not it's because I'm reviewing more and more and more, that I'm seeing it more and more and more. It's just becoming incredibly noticeable. And I'd like to know why.
You're going to turn into a curmudgeon like everybody who uses Blu-ray.com.
I'm already a curmudgeon in so many ways. but no, I mean, you know, they've got points now. They've definitely got points on some of these, and it's been difficult to score the image because to be brutally honest, for 90% of people who are going to buy the disc, it's not going to be a problem. They're not wedded to the film. You know, I might have seen it once as a kid, but I can't remember what color the bloody robes were. As long as it's nice and sharp and detailed and all that, that's fine by me, and that's perfectly okay.
So many comments on your review of it have been like, I saw this as a kid. I don't know if it's any good, but I'm going to buy it. And that's probably the market for this exactly. 4K of Red Sonja.
And you know what? So when people are going, really? Of all the films that are getting a 4K release, why stick Red Sonja out there? Because of that. It's absolutely. How many people, you know, do you know what? Give me Krull in 4K and I am gonna shit a brick. Honestly,
I will buy that.
I will buy 2 copies. You know? So sorry. So yeah, bit of a rant there. The film is not as good as you remember it, and the disc certainly has caveats to be buyers need to be made wary of.
No, that's interesting. That's what we're here for sure.
Absolutely.
What, being interesting? I thought that was a podcast.
No, being pedantic.
Yes.
Well, we do have some interesting tidbits about a new Red Sonja movie, though, which has been doing the rounds for ages, ever since, was it Rodriguez?
Yeah, Rodriguez and McGowan.
Yeah, originally, way back when, like over a decade ago, I'm guessing. It's passed through a variety of hands. It lost its director, lost its lead, and it's regained a director in MJ Bassett, and the lead has been cast. We don't know who it is, but the lead has been cast, due to shoot in a month's time.
We should say friend of the website, MJ Bassett.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yes.
Excellent. So
it should be. I'm interested to see it, but the problem with Red Sonja is kind of the problem with She-Hulk, except that She-Hulk has kind of been rehabilitated in recent years by Marvel Comics, whereas Red Sonja absolutely hasn't, and is just as weird and kind of gross as it has always been. Like, I was looking at recent, I'm not a reader of the comics, but I was looking at cover art just out of interest based on this 4K release that Mark reviewed, and it's still just kind of a little bit skeevy. Like it feels like another one of those comics that should kind of just grow up a little bit. Like, and I say this as somebody who read some of the Deja Thoris Princess of Mars comics, you know, like, and those were really like not okay.
Bear in mind, Tom, you have called people on Blu-ray.com nerds after that sentence. I'm just checking, right?
Yeah, I know, pot and kettle. But I find Red Sonja a weird one to resurrect. Like, unless you're going to take a wildly different approach to it, and maybe MJ is going to do that, and that would be super interesting, and that would be really cool.
It can't be worse than Brigitte Nielsen.
Lol, no. No. Yeah, I think was it Jim DeGriz on the forum said, like, why are we getting this ahead of Conan?
It's got a point.
Such a good point.
Well, no, because it's obvious. Studiocanal and Red Sonja,
and they don't own Conan.
Disney own Conan. Oh well, there we go. Says it all, really, doesn't it?